Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the BJJ GOONS podcast. I am your host, Tim, aka Number One Stunner, aka Jitsbay, aka the Train Wreck, aka the Best Bout Machine, aka I heel hook white belts in the gi because I train for the street. And sitting across from me is the 2018 IBJJF Black Belt World Champion in the Super Heavyweight Division, Mahamed Aly da Silva. Welcome to the show, brother. How you doing?
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Feeling great to be here. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you, BJJ GOONS. Thank Tony. Thank you, Tim Spriggs.
All right, so welcome to the show. You are the first Black Belt World Champion guest that we ever had. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's been like for you since you've won the world title?
I don't know, man, really, because I've been living like a champion for years now. You know that we live like a champion. So when you actually get the medal, it doesn't change much because you already been living that lifestyle, that life. You already been thinking about that. So for me, it didn't change much yet, but it's great to have that. Of course, like I've been living for that for like a decade. You know, I wanna finally feel, you know, and then have that, how can I say, that respect, you know, and that's super good. I love it, man.
Wow. I mean, have you gotten more opportunities since you've won the title?
Man, I don't think so, because I wasn't actually looking for opportunities till now, you know. So now I'm starting to talk with Master Lloyd since he's super good at marketing and stuff like that. So now I've been trying to do more seminars and stuff like that. But before, I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying just to rest, because the last year has been crazy in my life, man.
Crazy. Well, we'll get to like the present day, but
Okay.
Can you take us back to your early days? Like, tell us about your life starting out. Where you come from? Where are you from? Your childhood. Let's start from there.
Okay, so I was born in Rio de Janeiro in a neighborhood called Campinho, but I lived in Caxias for 9 years. You know, my first 9 years, I used to, like, at first when I was born, we didn't have a house, so I would live in my aunt's house, you know, in the backyard.
In the backyard?
Yeah, and
like,
then
did you have a roof or?
yeah, like they built, my parents built a little roof and a little like walls. We have walls, you know, but it was like kind of crazy. And then eventually, when I was, I think, 5, they was able to buy a house, you know, a little house, and that was it.
Okay, what was your neighborhood like when you were a kid?
It wasn't bad. The first one, it wasn't bad. It was poor, but it wasn't like dangerous. Like most people think, like in Rio, you either rich. I mean, that's kind of true. But when I came from, people was super poor, but they didn't know what it's like to be, you know, rich and stuff like that, because it was kind of far away from the city.
Oh, okay.
At first, yeah, and then people didn't see no violence, and even we didn't experience to see other people like with better lives. That was the only thing we knew, you know. So it wasn't bad. It was super fun, you know. We'd be climbing trees and stuff like that the whole day, you know, running around. So our parents wouldn't be worried about us being in the street. I would go out in the morning, and then the only time I would go back home is to eat something, and then I would be at the street the whole day running and doing stuff, you know.
Wow.
So that was the first thing. But then my dad used to drive vans, you know. He used to drive vans, and then one day he was working, and somebody stole the van and killed my dad. You know, that was the thing. But in Brazil, you don't have to have insurance in your cars, you know. So when they bought a car, my parents, when they bought that car, they didn't have insurance for robbery.
But would your dad like drive people around in the van?
Yeah,
Okay.
And then when we lost the van, they were still paying for it. You know, they were still paying. And the bad thing was my dad had a bad credit. Let's say that bad credit. and the van was in my mom's name. So now she had to pay for the van, and she sold our house, to pay the van. That was the whole thing. And then we had to move to my uncle's house, which was in Jacarepaguá, which is like closer to the city. And that's when I started to see people, like different people. Yeah, that was like till 9. And then at 9, we was living in my uncle's house for like a year. And it was bad because now I didn't lose only my dad. I lost my dad, my friends, my friends, because I was just a kid. And I didn't see myself making other friends. I was like, I'm not going to get used to it. People here are different, I don't know people, blah, blah, blah. And my mom now is scary because she just lost her, her husband. So now she's not going to let me be in the streets anymore like before.
Yeah.
And now I'm in a big city, which is dangerous. And I had to, do school and all. So it was rough. And for a year or 2 years, I didn't want to see people. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to make friends because I was afraid to make other friends. I had to move again, And then I was just at home, crying, writing stuff. And it was rough, man, because my mom used to work like 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
And in Brazil, man, if you work, most people from Brazil, they're going to agree with me. You're going to be like at least an hour in the traffic. At least an hour to go, So my mom used to be like 2 hours. So 10 hours of work plus 4 hours of traffic, So she still had to cook for, bring food to the. I don't know if you do that here, but in Brazil, people don't want to eat in the street and spend more money. So they're gonna cook their own food and they're gonna bring to work.
Yeah.
So she would spend an hour doing that. So we didn't have that much, family time. Yeah, and it was rough, man. But then eventually I started to do school, and then before I used to play soccer, with my dad, because my dad loved soccer. And then as soon as he passed away, I was like, I'm not doing no soccer anymore. So I didn't want to even watch soccer. I didn't want to, see anything about soccer. So I started to do other stuff because I had a lot of energy. So then I did like basketball, I did volleyball, I even did tracks a little bit, but I didn't train. I only would go there and compete because I didn't want to go to the school, And in Brazil, I don't know if here is like that, but in Brazil, if you from the team, you can miss some practice. From some classes, Yeah. And then people was like, "Hey, man, let's do that." I was like, I don't like running. I don't want to do track. They said, "Babe, but we gonna miss practice. We can miss classes.
Yeah.
We can just be there. And then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do that." And then that's all I started to miss classes. I don't want kids to do that, but that's what I did back then. And yeah, that was it, man. Then now I'm like 13. 14, and then I went high school. In high school, it was bad because, again, I had to lose all my friends because I was doing a school which, how can I say that? When you do school and also you learn a profession in a school?
Trade. Yes, trade school.
Yeah, so that's what they had back then. And I was kind of smart, so I went there to do a test in the past. They was like, "Oh, okay, now you're gonna stoop." And in my mind, it would be great, to do that because my mom was like, "Hey, that's gonna be good for your future." But then I didn't know you're supposed to be like 10 hours a day, And then as soon as I started, I was like, "Oh man!" So now starting over again. I don't have friends anymore, and if I do, I'm not gonna be able to hang out with them. So I have to make new friends, and my activities, which is like sports, I can't do that anymore. So now I'm stuck at the school 10 hours a day, 2 hours in traffic, and now I'm gonna go back home and think what I'm gonna do. And then I started to be angry. I was always a happy kid, but for some reason I was getting angry. angry at home. I wouldn't have no patience with my mom, you know. And my mom thought it was because I was like a teenager, you know. It's like, oh, it's just a teenager, blah blah blah. That's normal. But it wasn't. It because I had a lot of energy, but I was the whole day at the school studying, you know.
That's the worst.
Yeah,
especially as a teenager.
Exactly. And then I eventually started to train kickboxing, and that's how I started in martial arts, you know.
You were kickboxing?
Yeah.
Just kickboxing?
I did kickboxing for a few months.
Where did you train?
Just
some random gym?
Yeah, like it was on my corner. There was kickboxing there. I knew some people who was going there, and then I was, let me go there and make a test, you know.
Okay. So how did you transition from kickboxing to jiu-jitsu?
I was doing kickboxing and I was doing pretty good. And then I started to get invited to train in other schools with other people from the same neighborhood. And then we started training. I was doing super good because I was like a 6'1" or 6. You know,
How old were you?
Yeah, I was 15, but I grew before, you know,
Good
like with
Lord.
13, 14, I was boom. And then I was tall, super skinny dude, so that's kind of easier for strikers, I think. I don't know. And I was picking stuff fast, you know, I was doing super good. And people started to talk about me, maybe, I don't know. And then, hey man, come here to train with us. And then I'll go there, train super good, you know. And then eventually I trained with a guy. And he's like, hey man, after practice, can we do one MMA? I'm like, oh, of course. But he would do jiu-jitsu before. I knew that, you know, he was training jiu-jitsu. And then he pulled guard, man, and I tried to punch him, and he got me in the triangle. And for me, jiu-jitsu was like a gay sport. Like super gay. Like for me, man, jiu-jitsu was super gay. And like, I'll never do that sport, you know, never. And then, man, as soon as I got in the triangle, I was like, oh my God. I knew that tap, you know, but I was like, okay. So maybe I can learn and quit. You know, maybe I can at least learn how to defend myself and just leave. You know, I'm not going to do that for a long time. But at the same time, I knew that people from my neighborhood, the kids, they will go fight other kids. Let's say I train jiu-jitsu, but I fight in the streets. That's the image I had of them.
You knew kids like that?
Yeah, they all would do that. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. And I don't want to be known as a guy who trains and beat people on the street, you know, because I'm still like, I'm all against violence, you know.
You were a nice kid, so you never got in fights as a kid?
No, I did before. I did a little bit, like regular kids. But I was now 15. So it's kind of different here in Brazil because in America, a 15-year-old is just a kid.
Yes.
You know, but in Brazil you have some 15-year-old kids who have kids already. You know, you have guys with 15, 16, they already have kids. You know, you have like 15-year-old guys who
that's
already
normal?
work. Yeah, that's normal. Especially in poor places. People work like a lot of, I don't like to say kids, you know, because they're not kids, they men, you know. But some of them will kill each other. Like some of them will be on the drug dealer. They're going, you know. So it's different. So now I was 15, and in my mind, like, I'm not a kid anymore. I shouldn't be fighting. And I was super shy too. So I didn't want people to know that I trained jiu-jitsu, you know. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to train. I'm not going to train here, you know. And one day I got invited to train in Barra da Tijuca, which is, it was like, by car it would be like maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. But nobody had a car over there, you know. By bus would be maybe like 45 an hour. But I didn't have money to bus too, so I had to go by bike, and that would be like an hour or something like that. And then a guy invited me to go there. Hey man, let's go there, train Barra da Tijuca, blah blah blah. And I was like, hey, let's go. I went, I liked it, and then I started training. That was 2009, I think. Yeah, 2009, I think. And then I started training. I was doing school. Now I'm doing school 10 hours a day. 2 hours of traffic. I would have to leave my house 5:40 a.m. to start school at 7. And then from 7 to 5 p.m. school. And then I'll take 2-hour bus to Barra da Tijuca to train jiu-jitsu. And I'll be back home like 11:30 p.m.
And then you gotta wake back up at
Yeah,
5:30.
that was my schedule. So eventually I started sleeping at the school. So I was just doing enough to pass, and then I'll be sleeping, And that was my start in jiu-jitsu. That's the way I started.
So you're down in Barra da Tijuca.
Barra da Tijuca training. When do you decide to take jiu-jitsu more seriously, like make it your life? So I was one year ahead of school. So everybody would be 16. I was 15 for some reason. I don't know why. And then I was loving jiu-jitsu. I was like in love. I remember that my first gi, somebody gave it to me. That would rip every practice. So I would have to get home, get the
sew it.
Yeah, I would have to, every day, and then wash my gi, and then put it somewhere. But in Brazil, I don't know about now, but and some places they will probably have, but we don't have the culture to have dryer machines.
Yeah, hang dry.
Yeah, we don't have we hang somewhere and that's going to dry. So I will have to get home. So how do I say sew? Yeah, sew my gi, and then put it somewhere. Wash it, put it somewhere to dry, and then in the morning time I will fold it, put it in my backpack and go to school. And then I'll have to open at my class and put it somewhere to dry. So I was in love with that, and I couldn't don't do it. And people was complaining, "Hey man, that thing is stinks. don't do that here. Put it there." Blah, blah. And then my people from the school was mad, but they knew I loved it, and yeah, that was it. And then I was 1 year ahead, so I was training. I had one more year of classes for high school, and then when we finished, people was like, "Hey, I gotta do college." So in Brazil, if you don't want to pay for college, you gotta be smart, do a test. I don't know if you hear it like that too. And then you do a test, and if you pass it, you don't pay, for the best schools. So people was trying to do that, and in my mind I was like, man, I don't want to do that at all. Because last time I did it, I passed it, and then I had to be here. I didn't want to be, school anymore. But I couldn't say that to my mom.
She wasn't having that.
No, yeah, she was like, "No, you're gonna do that, blah blah blah." And then what I would do is that I would leave my ID at home, and then go do a test. And then as soon as I get that, "Where's your ID?" I was like, "Oh, I forgot my ID." And then, "Oh, okay, you gotta wait to the next year to do the test." So that's how I missed all my tests. Eventually, she knew. She was like, "Oh man, you don't want to do that, right?" I was like, "No."
Was she mad when you told her that you did?
Super mad, like super mad.
Like wanted to disown you, mad?
Yeah, like that, like super mad. Because that should be the only way to change my life, because we are poor. My mom didn't go to college. My uncles and aunts didn't go to college. Nobody ever was even close to the college. I was the first one who was close to go, because I was smart. And in Brazil, we didn't have no money to pay for that, So I should be the first. And then I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to do that, And she got super mad. You was bad. But I kept training, and then one day, man, I was training at Nogueira's, and then
like the Nogueira brothers gym.
Yeah, Brazil. I was training there.
Was that when Anderson Silva was training there?
Yeah, Anderson Silva, Ronaldo Jacaré, a guy called Rafael Cavalcante. His nickname is Feijão. He knocked out Yo. Yeah. A lot of great guys, man. Vinicius Spartan, Fabio Maldonado, Vitor Miranda. Man, a lot of great people.
And you used to train with them?
The Pitbull brothers.
Oh, they're from there.
Yeah. No, they're not from there. But they was there at that time. And then one day when we finished practice, they should take a picture for Patrick Pitbull. He was doing the main thing in Bellator.
Yes.
And they needed a picture. And then Minotauro was like, "Hey, Mahamed, come here." Like 100 people. Like not 100, like 50 people in there. And they were like, "Hey, Mahamed, come here, man. Let's take a picture." And then I still have that picture. It's like me, Junior Cigano, Junior dos Santos, Minotauro, then Pitbull brothers, just like UFC and Bellator people, and me, you know.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and then I didn't know, but that picture went to a magazine. And then one day I got to the gym, I saw the magazine, I saw myself in there. And they gave me one. And then as soon as I got home, I put in the table. Like, I didn't say anything, I just put in the table. And then, but I forgot about the magazine. And then one day I had to go to my mom's work. And when I got there, people was like, "Hey, man, I see you in the magazine." Blah, blah, blah. I was like, "Oh, man." So now I know it's kind of, you know, she's understanding that I'm kind of good, you know, so maybe I can do good in sports. That's when we started to have, like, arguments, and that's when our relationship got back good, you know. But she was still, "Hey, you can do that, but you can still do college," right? I say, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll think about that."
But still thinking?
Yeah, no, I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking about no college.
Did you used to do striking and jiu-jitsu with the Nogueira brothers?
Yeah, so I was training only jiu-jitsu at first. And then when I finished high school, I was like, man, I'm 1 year ahead. So maybe I can use that year to decide myself, like to see, like, if I'm really good, I can still doing it. If not, I can go back, you know, and still do college. I'm not going to be old or anything like that. Oh, you want to stop?
Yeah, no.
Okay. And then I had that year to work on my striking, on my stuff. And my first instructor, he was super good in jiu-jitsu, but there was no striking there. And I was big. You know, I was like 16, but I was already big. And then I was doing weights with a guy the guy was training Vitor Belfort and the Nogueira's brothers at that time. And one day I was training, and then I saw Victor Belfort walking, you know. And he was like, "Hey, man, how old are you?" I was like, "I'm 16. "You 16? Big like that? Man, we gotta train together, blah, blah, blah. Man, I actually, do you have a passport?" I was like, "No." "Man, I'll give me your number. I'll talk to my manager, blah, blah, blah. We gotta train, man. You gonna be super good, you know. So because you're already big, you're training hard. Dragos told me that you're training hard. You're gonna be good, man. I wanna take you to Vegas with me to my next fight, but just like that." Imagine if it was like a kid, you didn't have, like, I didn't even think about doing, like, flying in a plane. I never thought about that. That would be too much for me, you know. And then the guy was telling me about going to United States. I was like, "Oh my God, man, I want to do that. And then the guy who was training me in Dragos, he told me, "Man, that would be good, but I think it would be better if you knew Nogueira's brothers, because they big. You know, Vitor is not that big. I mean, he was big, but." And then he was like, and they have a school here in Rio, you know, so you don't have to be traveling and stuff like that. I was like, okay. And then he put me in the car the same day and brought me to the Nogueira's brothers. As soon as I walked to the gym, man, I saw Junior dos Santos walking, and then I saw Minotauro. And when I saw Minotauro, he came to me, "Hey, man, how you doing, man? What you want to hear?" And then he saw Dragos. "Hey, Dragos, what up?" And say, "Man, this kid here, he can deadlift, I don't know, in pounds. That would be maybe like
how many kilos in?
Yeah, like 190. 190. Let me convert. 190 kilos would be
at 16.
Yeah, I was like 16. Yeah, almost getting to 17.
Oh, jeez.
I was getting strong, man.
No, your parents big and athletic?
Yeah, my dad was tall and skinny. I have a picture of him here. And my mom, she's like DJ. You know, she's super strong. It's like super
You're
strong.
like a perfect combination.
Yeah, and then, it came out like this, man. Let me see how many pounds.
This is fascinating. I mean, this is good stuff.
Yeah, that's like 418. You know, 418
At
pounds.
16 years
Yeah,
old.
and then I was strong already. But I was training for a few months already, and the guy was like a power lifter, you know, from Romania. So the guy was like crazy hard about training, and he was building me, you know. And then he was like, man, this guy is strong, you know, and he works hard, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, Toro told me, hey, man, we have 3 days class here, like, which is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, no gi in the morning. I never trained no gi before, like that. And then he was like, man, we have these 3 practice, only no gi. Do you want to come? I was like, yeah, man, I want to practice. Because in my school, there was no morning practice. And he said, man, okay, come. And then he gave me $50. I was like, oh, what is that? No, man, just for your bus, you know, $50. Do you take supplements? I was like, yeah. And he gave me creatine, whey protein, and BCAAs. I was like, what is that? You know, because I never, like, I would take 20 miles each way with my bike, you know. And I didn't even have a bike. I would have to take somebody's bike to go practice, you know. And then the guy gave me money to train. I was like, man, what is that? Money to train? He's like, yeah, man, they're gonna support you to, you know, to at least be here. I was like, oh, and what is this? That's supplements, man. That's nutrients that you need. And most of the times I would go practice with no lunch. You know, I didn't have lunch. I mean, sometimes I didn't have lunch. You know, I would just go and practice. And when I had that, like, nutrients to train and even, like, money to bus, I was like, man, of course I'm going to come.
So, yeah.
You know, and then my relationship with my first instructor started to be bad. Because he didn't want me to go there, you know. And he was like, man, that's not a good thing to do, you know, training to schools, blah, blah, blah. I said, man, they giving me stuff, and I dream to do a MMA fighter. You know, I want to, you know, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And then I start doing it anyway. And our relationship started to get super bad. And then one day I just quit. I just training full-time in Chinoguera. So that's how I started doing Chinoguera. But now in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I started jiu-jitsu with this guy, and it didn't work out, I'm going to quit jiu-jitsu and do only MMA. And then I was training MMA. Eventually I started getting better at striking. I was doing like MMA sparrings and everything like that. I was helping Minotauro for Tiro Ortiz and Minotauro for Frank Mir, you know. And I was there full camp, you know, training with them morning and night, you know, and training. I was super happy, man. But eventually I started training for like 5 months. I didn't compete once. I was getting used to compete, you know, in jiu-jitsu at least once a month. And then I was like, man, 5 months I didn't compete. Get me an MMA fight, man. And they was like, man, no, you're not gonna fight MMA. I was like, why not? Man, you big. You like 200 pounds, but you 17-year-old kid. You know, you're not gonna fight. People know you're good. People know you train with us. They're not gonna accept. They're not gonna give you no easy fights. You know, so you need a little more experience. You don't go do some jiu-jitsu tournaments. I was like, oh, okay, let me do some jiu-jitsu. And then I did some jiu-jitsu, got my purple belt, and then I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna win. Cause you know Charles Oliveira, Charles the Bronx.
Yes.
This guy won purple belt world championship, and then he went to UFC. And then I was like, man, I'm gonna win worlds as purple, and then I can do jiu-jitsu. At least I won, you know, worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I started traveling. I went to Abu Dhabi. I came here, you know, that year I won purple belt worlds.
Yes.
And then I was like, man, that was great, but I think I can win brown. I saw you winning brown. I saw Albert winning brown. I was like, man, I can do brown belt next year.
Can you go back to the connection from coming from Nogueira's to starting to train with us at Team Nogueira?
Okay, yeah, of course.
A trip to America.
Okay, Nogueira's had affiliate school in Dubai. You know, no, he wasn't affiliate yet. He was only Emirate Jiu-Jitsu, but they was somebody. They had somebody in there. You know, so they was like, man, if you wanna do Abu Dhabi, we can maybe raise some money here. You buy a ticket, and they take care of you over there in Dubai. Yeah, and then I went there first time. I met some people. I loved it. I met Bushesha the first time. Bushesha was there. We was in the same house. And then I was like, man, that's fun. You know, that's fun. I want to go to America. And then I applied for my visa, and I got denied first time. I already had my ticket to come here, and I got denied in my visa. And I was like, oh man, that's bad. And then people were like, man, try again. We can raise money. And then people raised money for me. I was super shy. I couldn't ask people for money. I was super shy, yeah. And then people were like, no, man, let me raise. Haiza had like a really big friend. She was pop about too. You know, girls, they more, you know, they talk better.
Yes.
And then she was like, I'm going to raise money for you. And then she raised money. She asked everybody, hey, can you give me $20? Can you give just for Mahamed? Blah, blah, blah. People knew I was training hard. So I went there again, and they accept my visa. And then I came to Words. But when I came, people was talking about Mesloy over there already. I used to live in an athlete's house, so eventually I had to get out my mom's house. And
yes.
We can talk about that too. But then people was talking about Lloyd are there, you know. So there was a guy who was living here for a little bit. He was a UFC fighter. He was like, man, this team right here, they organized, man. They're different. They're doing stuff different. You know, they're starting to build something really big. And then I saw Lloyd, you know, but I didn't pay much attention. And then when I went to California, I saw Mr. Lloyd over there. You know, but I didn't speak.
Your first year of Purple?
Yeah, but I didn't speak no English, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I saw him there. I remember we shake hands and, hey man, how you doing? Blah blah blah. What's your name? And then he watched some of my matches, something like that. And then but I didn't even think about coming here, because first I didn't know people here. Second, I didn't speak English. You know. Third, I didn't even know like the possibility of, you know, immigration stuff. And then. I remember the next year I went to Abu Dhabi again, and I met Herbert. I already knew Gobi, but I met Herbert, and Herbert was like, man, I'm going Lloyd, you know, because he made Keenan. He made Keenan, man. Who was Keenan? Keenan was nobody, you know, so Lloyd made Keenan. I want to be like that too, you know, and he was trying to win Worlds. I think he lost the finals of Worlds that year, you know. And then he came, and then Gobi came. Oh, and in my mind, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do that, you know, because André Galvão used to train at Chino Guerra too, you know. So in my mind, I was like, man, one day I think I'm going Atos, you know. But I don't remember what happened. I think I asked my instructor to, you know, to talk with Galvão. I don't remember what happened, but I know that eventually I didn't go there and was still helping people to fight MMA. And in my mind, like, man, if I want to do jiu-jitsu, I don't want to help MMA people anymore. You know, I want to help myself. And I think I texted my Lloyd, or we start talking for some reason, and then I came. You know, I came after Abu Dhabi. I came 2014, and then I won Worlds. When I won, I was like, man, I want to come back here. You know, I want to come back here. But I remember back then, I was partying a lot. I was doing a lot of stuff. And then I would tell myself, hey, myself, man, I want to go back to Brazil and party a little bit, you know, have fun. And I was like, man, now you 18, 19 maybe? Man, now you're a 19-year-old. You can literally, like, change your life forever. But you're telling me that you want beach and women, you know. So think about that, man. You're going to Brazil now, think about that, man. And then I went back to Brazil. The first day I got there, I was already with that in my mind. I was like, man, that's true, man. I want to change my life, you know. I just want war. That's an opportunity to, you know, win more, do bigger stuff. And then I was like, I remember that I stayed for only a little bit. And then I was like, hey, Messi, man, I want to go back. You know, I can't be here anymore, wasting my time. You know, and then that's when I came, 2015, and never went back there anymore. You know, that was it. And we had a lot of conversation, me and Messi, but I don't know exactly the moment where when I say, hey man, can I go there? Or he was like, hey man, come, I think you should come here. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, that was it, man. But I know that some people don't know, you probably don't know, that Herbert came here first place to help you. You know,
I heard, yeah.
Because now what Messi is doing with Yara, you know, like trying to, you know, have people to help Azana. He did that for you, you know, Gobi, Herbert, eventually me, but like all that people left, you know, stayed. But yeah, man, that's crazy, right? How stuff get together for a reason. Yeah.
What was it like adjusting to American life?
It was crazy. I remember that I would cry every night. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Because first, people are cold. Not cold, they're different. You know, people not going to treat you good just because you're here. You know, people don't care. Oh, okay, you're here? Okay, that's all right, you know. But in Brazil, if you have somebody from other countries, you go, hey, man, how are you? Man, do you need something? Do you want to, man, we actually this weekend doing a cookout in my place. Do you want to come? That's the way it is in Brazil. People gonna bring you, you know, people, hey, man, what you doing? Oh, I'm by myself. You by yourself? No, you're not by yourself anymore. You with me. You know, that's the way we see stuff in Brazil. So when I got here, I expect that, you know. And then I was training super hard, man. On the weekends, I wouldn't do anything. And then I wouldn't see in the Facebook, I would see like people going to the movies, you know, people doing stuff, people doing restaurants. And then I was there in Macedonia's house, you know, sitting there. And even worse, I would see my friends at the beach, partying, posting pictures, happy. And then I was like, man, I'm here winning tournaments, but so what? You know, I'm not, you know, it was bad. And I remember when we had conversations, me and the guys, I would go to the bathroom and cry, you know, miss my mom, miss, you know, people. And I was like, man, that's bad. I thought about giving up a lot of times, but I was like, man, let me just win words, and then I left, you know, and then I leave. And then I was like, man, I won words. So now what I'm gonna do now? And then I was like thinking, and then, man, never. I still today I think, man, next year when I win black belt world time, man, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go to somewhere warm, you know. I don't want no cold anymore. So every year I say, man, that's my last year here. I'm gonna just train, win words, and leave. But then when I win, I look at Messi, I look at you guys, and then, man, I love these people, man. You know, I want to stay one more year.
You don't. I feel as though you don't want to, like you said, in your life, you would go somewhere and then you'd have to leave and make new friends and start over
again. Yeah,
that's hard.
That's my thing. Always when I'm doing not good, but sometimes when I'm getting comfortable, I have to leave. You know, I have to change. When I'm doing good in soccer, now you gotta quit. You don't have to, but now you quit soccer because something happened. And now you're doing good at school, you're having friends, now you gotta leave again, you know. So that was always being my thing. And here, when I started to finally get used to it, when I learned English, oh, now I speak English. So now I do this. Now I have my visa to stay a little more time. So now I'm gonna leave again and start over, you know. So that's going over in my head. I was like, man, I'm gonna stay one more year, you know.
That's cool. Can you tell us about this year Worlds, your experience?
Yeah,
and the training and like what was going on in your life this year.
Yeah, it was, to be honest, the worst year, because the other years I was training only thinking about myself. You know, it was only training for me. Some people don't know, but I just had a kid 9 months ago. And my girl got pregnant, you know, and that was a shock because I didn't want to be a dad at all. In my mind, I was like, man, I'll never have a kid ever. You know, I don't want no responsibility. I'm selfish. I don't want to do that. I'm by myself. You know. Of course, you have a girl, it's fine, but it's still, you know, one day you can just, you know. But if you have a kid, that's forever, you know. So in my mind, I was like, man, I'll never have a kid, never. And then I was in Italy teaching seminars, and then she texted me, hey, Mahamed, we gotta talk. And then she called me, and she was like, oh, I'm pregnant. Long story short, she was like, I'm pregnant. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. You know, my life is over. I didn't win black belt world title yet, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna have to work, blah, blah, blah. But, and still, I didn't want to tell my mom. You know, my mom is my friend, you know, we talk a lot, but I didn't want to tell her. I didn't want to tell my friends, because like, hey man, you left Brazil, you did all that, now you have a kid, what, like, you stupid, you know, why didn't you do this here, you know? And then I didn't want to tell people, was by myself, you know, sad, you know, frustrated because I was about to have a kid, you know. And yeah, man, I just had a bad year. It's like 7 injuries last year.
What were some of the injuries that you had?
Man, I had like knee, ribs, shoulders, tendinitis. I had like a lot of bad injuries. So in my mind, I was already weak, you know. When that came, I was like, man, I have 2 options. I can just cry, or I can make sure I'm going to win next year, you know, because, of course, we know we're good, but sometimes when we don't win, we kind of get frustrated. We ask ourselves, like, man, maybe I'm not that good, you know, maybe I'm not, you know. And I was like, man, I'm not going to ask myself that 2 words. I'm gonna win words next year. If I don't, I quit. You know, I maybe do other stuff. But I didn't expect to be that good to have a kid. You know, I didn't expect. I thought it would be bad. And then it was bad. I had to take care of Brazilians. They was here the first time. Now I have responsibilities to help other people too. And now I have got to help my girl who's pregnant. And I have to, you know, think about money now. First time in my life, think about making money not just for me, but, you know, for the family. And yeah, man, it was bad. It was bad. But for some reason, everything in my mind got clear, you know, because now I don't know how to explain that, but maybe now I don't have to win anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because now, since you have a lot of other stuff going on,
it's not the be all, the end all. You understand
like,
this life.
If you lose, that's all right, you know, because you've been dealing with not bad, but hard, with a hard moment in your life, you know.
When everything else in your life is crazy, jiu-jitsu becomes not life and death.
Yeah, it's not that much weight in my shoulder, you know. So now jiu-jitsu got back being the happy moment in my day, you know. Because for years I was getting stressed about jiu-jitsu. I was thinking about being the best. I was thinking about beating Buchecha, beating great people. But I wasn't having fun the same way anymore. Mm-hmm. You know, the way I was having fun in Brazil. I was training, I was doing conditioning, I was stressing myself a lot. So instead of being something fun, it was becoming a job, you know. So when I have, like, your girl is pregnant, your friends are far away from you, your family is far, you're in a cold place, you know, and now you're like, man, let me just have fun training jiu-jitsu, you know, let me take that time to have fun, you know. So I started to have fun. Eventually I started getting more creative. Master Lloyd was telling me about pressure, about all that, and then I was like, man, I'll try stuff. And I started to train less, because I was training I was training a lot. That's why I was getting hurt. And then Victor, my sponsor, he was like, man, I think you're just doing too much. I think you gotta do less. And then I had my YouTube channel, you know, and then I was like, man, let me have fun here too, you know. So I found some places to have fun. Like YouTube is a way to have fun, talk with people, you know. And jiu-jitsu, let me have fun here too. Let me learn, you know, stuff. And then I kind of forgot about words. because I had too much stuff going on. You know, I was like, man, let me just forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually I was training, you know, to be Herbert, to be all like good guys in my division, but they didn't put their names in my division. You know, Herbert didn't come, Panza moved up, and then I'm like, man, Bernardo didn't fight. And then I was like, man, I'm getting stressed for something that is not even real yet, you know. So now I have Low in my division. So, man, that's even worse, you know. Like, there is nobody worse than Low, you know. And then I was like, oh, man, Low. Now I have Mahamed Aly, the guy who always beat me by submission super fast, you know. And then I was like, man, let me not stress about that. Let me think about my weight. And now, this year, I have, like, bigger issues with my weight because I was never that big. And then I was like, man, let me focus on my...
swole.
Yeah, I was like, man, let me focus on my weight. Let me focus on my life. Let me focus on the Brazilians here that I'm helping. You know, let me do day by day. You know, let me work today. Today I have a day. Let me worry about today and not words. And then, man, eventually I felt super good after I came back from Kazakhstan. I was training for 2 weeks. I was, man, I'm already ready for words. So I'm not gonna go there hard. I'm gonna go a little less, building, you know, day by day, better. And then, man, a week before Worlds, I was on my weight already. First time in my life I made weight that early. I was like, man, my weight is good. We're gonna travel, and then we traveled. Everything was great. And then when we got to there, I didn't want to focus on other people. Like, I didn't want to go there and watch purple belt. You know, I was like, man, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to watch no purple belts. I'm not going to watch brown belt. I love the guys. You know, we work together, but it's still, that's an individual sport. You know, so I know they good there with Masloy. I know Masloy is there. I know Macedoni is there. You know, I don't have to be there. Let me focus on myself, on my weight, on my mind, on everything. And one good thing was I was by myself at the hotel too, you know, because you got a house or something away, and that made me focus even more because it was only me and myself, you know, for the first time in months, thinking, you know, good thoughts in my mind, you know, like focus fight by fight. And then, man, everything was great, you know. I got hurt, but it's still because I was by myself. I didn't have nobody to look at me and, oh man, your foot is nasty.
What happened to your foot?
Man, I got foot. So I gotta tell the whole thing. Gobi fought a guy who is a foot locker, you know. So Gobi fought this guy, and the guy got his foot like super fast in a minute. And I was like, hey Gobi, come on, man. You know this. All he does is foot lock. You know, all he does is like straight ankle lock. Don't give your foot like this. You know. And then I had this guy next match, you know, next fight. I will have to beat 2 guys and then I'll fight him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, man, Gobi, please, man. Don't do that. And then I fought this guy. He grabbed my foot. You know, I defend the first time. But when I defend the first time, I got confident. You know, I was like, man, this guy he's not going to get my foot. You know. And then eventually he got my foot, but I have a position when people go to my foot, I kind of go for a clock choke in the same time.
Yes.
You know, so I kind of release his sleeve so he could turn, and I could choke him. I was super confident. And then by the time I got to his neck, his lapel wasn't there. He was grabbing the same lapel, so it was super tight. I couldn't create a space. Mm-hmm. So by the time I got there, now I'm not defending my foot anymore. My foot was already popping. You know, it was
oh, man.
It was bad. I knew it was bad, but I was like, man, if I just quit now, there's no next match. You know, I can still, of course, do my division, but still, I'm not gonna not fight because I have to fight. I'm not gonna do that. You know, I'm gonna go 100%. So if he breaks my foot, he's gonna break my foot. I'm not gonna tap. You know. I'm not telling people to do that. Please don't do that. That's stupid. But that was my thought, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna tap. And then eventually he knew he was popping my whole foot, but he looked at my face, and then I was like, you know, he was like, ah, and then he released it. when he released it, I knew it was bad, and I thought I was winning by a advantage, 2 points and advantage. And then in my mind, I was like, man, I'm gonna let him come up. I'm gonna close guard or put in the lasso, and that's it. I'm gonna win like that. But when I came back, he was winning by advantage. I was like, oh man, now I need advantage, to win. And that's when I started to open up, but my foot was bad, and then he was able to pass my guard, and I lost. But it was great. That's great to tell, but that was great that I lost that match, because the next match will be Buchecha. And like last year, I had that mistake. My shoulder was bad, and my next match was Buchecha. And I went there and fought Buchecha with a bad shoulder, and that got even worse. And my next match was Cyborg, and I fought Cyborg with a bad shoulder, and it was horrible. And it got even worse. And the next match will be Herbert, and I fought Herbert with a bad, that's why, it was good because I had time to put ice on my foot,
Recover.
So yeah, to the next day.
Your foot looked super swollen. It looked like a hot dog that's been in the microwave.
Yeah, and then I went to my hotel. I take care of my foot. I had a guy. I had to fight one dude to get to the medal round, to get to the semis. And then I was like, man, I can't beat this guy with a foot like that. But I'm not gonna win. I'm not gonna win. I'm just gonna beat this guy and get my medal, and that's it. But then this guy didn't show up the next day. He didn't show up. I was like, man, no, my next match is Mahamed Aly, So I was like, man, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. And I don't know, man. I was training for Kina so much that I was doing some stuff like killing the legs so much that when I got to his legs, I was like, man, I don't need no foot. I can just hold this here as much as I can, and then I see what's going to happen. And then eventually he start getting stressed because I was holding him. People not used to me holding them. They usually see me doing speed. And then he started getting stressed. The crowd was crazy. And then I won. I was like, man, now I'm a final against Low. Man, if I beat Mahamed Aly, I can beat Low, man, And then it was crazy because I was, at the same time, I believed the whole time. I knew it could be, it could not be that good. But it was good, man. Low got hurt too. He was bad, got kind of sad. But still, man, I was hurt. Everybody was hurt. That's
I was
worse.
hurting that after that. Yeah, when you fight a few matches, you're gonna be hurting.
Yeah, that was it, man. Then I won. He's like, now it's the whole live thing going on in my mind. I look up, I see myself super big in the billboard. I look back, see all you there, man. It was special. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then, like most people, they know I've been training hard, they know I'm good. But it was crazy how media would say 100% Mahamed Aly versus Low, And people don't know all that, People don't know about all that. Because people thinking about words as like a technique or... No, man, it's not just technique. It's not just your physique. It's like your mind, man. Like, in my mind... At the same time, now I have a 6 months kid, a 6 months baby, and I'm like, man, if I don't win this year, man, I don't know if I'm gonna ever win words, So
that was going through your mind.
Yeah, that's like, man, if you don't win, now you have a kid, now you have family, so man, I cannot let myself thinking about next year today. Let's say sometimes you're losing. You're like, okay, man, I can try next year. There is no next year. That's what I was telling me. There is no next year, man. That's this year.
Doesn't that make you nervous?
No, it was better, man. Because I was like, man, you're not here to fight good. You're just here to win. You're not here to do highlights. You're not here to throw people. You're just here to win. Find your way to win because that might be your next year, man. You don't know like that. That might be your next year training 100% for you. Maybe next year you're going to be teaching, you're going to be doing other stuff. There's no next year, man. And then I was like, man, there's no next year. You know, they all can win next year, no problem. You know, this year I had to win. You know, and then I was like, man, there's no option. So, man, if you, I was, it's kind of crazy to think about that having a kid, but in my mind I was like, man, I'd rather die, man. I like if I have to lose, man, somebody better kill me here. You know, like just kill me. If you kill me, you got it. You know, but if you don't, like I'm gonna win. You know that. It's crazy, man. Like it's super strong, super intense moment. That's why like some people, I don't know, man. Some people freak out because it's literally a war, man. It's like, you know how people go to the war and get crazy?
Yes.
That's the same thing, man. You like super intense, and if you don't have the right people around you to, you know, maybe calm you down sometimes or even like push you up, you get crazy, man. You know, because you sacrifice so many things, and then when you get there and win, is one thing. Now your ego is like super high, you know, and then when you lose, you feel like a loser. You feel like you know, like a bum. But you're not. You're good, man. Even if you lose, you're super good. If you win, you're not that good yet. You know, you can do more. So keep yourself
humble.
Not humble, but on the ground. You know, I don't believe in humble, but on the ground, keep yourself there. Like, see yourself from the outside and tell yourself the real you. You know, because sometimes, man, I'm super good. I can't blah, 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 blah. But you're not being real with you. You know, you're not really capable to do that now. But you can work to do, you know. And that's my whole thing, man. Like, trying to be real with myself. I was like, man, I can really win this thing here. Because these guys, they're not super heavy. They heavyweight guys who didn't want to cut weight or whatever. They think they're just better. But I know I'm ultra heavyweight fighting super heavy. So I gotta use that, you know, in my advantage. And there was heavy guys fighting super heavy, you know. So I knew, I was like, man, I know I'm stronger than these guys. You know, I know I've been training, I've been in the weight room for a long time. You know, I know my strength, and they don't know that yet. You know, these people here, they don't know that. You know, they don't know who I am. They don't know what I do. You know, so I wasn't thinking about showing anything, but I was telling myself, man, that these Mahamed Aly versus Low thing
ain't happening.
Yeah, man, that's not real. That's something they want to make it real, but it's not the truth. You know, the truth is that I'm here to win that thing, or I'm gonna die today, man. You gotta kill me today. You know, that's the way I was thinking. Yeah, crazy.
So you're the reigning world champion. What's next for you?
I want to win no-gi awards. You know, I didn't win no-gi awards yet, and we gotta start doing wrestling and stuff. And I want to make money, man. You know, because like I know that there are people making money with jiu-jitsu, and it's not the athletes. You know, for some reason, if you see all the sport, a lot of people make money with football. A lot of people make money with football. But the athletes make money too, you know.
You mean soccer?
Yeah, no, football and soccer.
Well, football, American football, like the NFL, not so. I'd say in America, the best is baseball.
Baseball, but still,
yeah,
they all make money.
Everybody's rich.
Athletes, yeah, they can at least, you know, make money, make some money, not struggle. Because if you think about that, jiu-jitsu isn't a job; it's a hobby. If you think about that, because the real job is teaching seminars, doing stuff around your profession, you know, around the athlete thing to make money. You don't make money just fighting. I mean, some people will. But it's still like, if you think about like, let's say if you win ADCC, if you win all the tournaments, you can make maximum like what, $100,000?
Yeah, 6 figures, that's about it.
And then, if you think about that, how much you spend, it's not even close. You're not
breaking even if you're lucky.
So the people who are making money, they teach. You know, they have schools or they have like websites, or people who like just being an athlete in jiu-jitsu today is not a job yet. It's a hobby. It's a hobby that can get you some money. You know, but being a good athlete gives you a tool to eventually, making money and building something. But that's something that I didn't understand. I was so focused about winning words that I didn't think about none of that. I thought, man, maybe one day when I win words, I'm gonna make like 10 grand a month by sponsors and stuff like that. But it's not gonna work like that,
It's very rare.
Yeah, and now in my mind, I want to organize myself to be able to make money and train, and win the thing, So how do I gonna do that? I don't know.
I'm thinking about the same thing. It's one reason why we're here today.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I think it's gonna work, man. Jiu-jitsu is changing, it's growing a lot. A lot of people want to learn from us, and that's a good thing. And I think we can help a lot of people to, get better and stuff like that. But I'm not 100% sure.
How do you think that's gonna change? How do you think it's gonna become a profession?
Just a hobby? Oh, about jiu-jitsu? I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, we have some tournaments coming up, some good tournaments who pays the athletes, but I don't know, man. Because if you think about that, the only people who make money are the winners, and we winners, we know that, but we want that to be like that for like 20 years, 30 years, we're still training on the 20s, so that's like, we have to organize yourself to be able to always make money and always do what you love. And I love jiu-jitsu, but I don't want to be stressing about, man, I have to win this tournament to make money,
That's not going to be fun anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to have that stress, like, I have to win that thing to be able to make money. I have to beat everybody. Of course I want to beat everybody, but I want to beat everybody because I want to beat everybody, not because of the money. I want to focus on the right thing, and that's what I want. I want just be able to live, man, like honestly, and doing my stuff, seeing my my baby growing up, and that's it, man.
Well, Mahamed, it's been great. I learned a lot about you today, and I'm pretty sure everyone else has learned more than they already knew about you. Your story is incredible, brother.
Yeah.
It's an American dream, and it's been great to see your development. And I really took a lot out of how you said, "I'm gonna win or I'm gonna die."
Yeah, man. Like because if you think about that, man, we sacrifice our life for that. And I saw something. Mario Hayes said that in a documentary that he did. It was like it doesn't help you to train that much, to train super hard, if you leave your heart in the house. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, a lot of people, I was doing that too. You train super hard, and now you assume that just because you train, now you just gotta go there and fight, and everything's gonna work for itself. Like, you gotta bring your heart, man, because it's still gonna be a fight. You're just getting prepared to fight. And I was in my mind like, man, my jiu-jitsu is good, my strength is good, and now I'm just gonna go there and win. No, man, you gotta go there and fight. Still. And we was doing that in purple belt, brown belt, but eventually one day was like, man, maybe I'm good. Maybe I don't have to fight anymore. Maybe I just have
take it easy, right?
Maybe I just have to dominate here and win. And he was like, man, don't leave your heart on the day of the tournament. Bring your heart with you. Don't leave it at home. And then I was like, hey, oh my God, man, that's true. I train. I'm in shape. I've been training, but it still is going to be a fight because they training too, and I'm not going to assume that I'm the best because the best going to have to prove that he's the best over there on that day. So in my mind, I was like, man, I'm going to bring my heart, and that's the whole thing. I already know jiu-jitsu. I already know my strength. I already did conditioning. So now it's all about believing and hard to fight. Don't accept points, don't accept advantages. And go in there, man, die. Die for your dream. That's a good way to die, right? And then I was like, man, let me go there and die, if I have to. But if I don't, I'm gonna, come back as a winner. And if you think about that, like when people go to war, they know, man, if they don't do the best, if they don't bring their heart, if they don't be thinking only about that, they're never gonna go back home, you know. And when we lose, it feels like that. It feels like we died, you know. It feels like, oh my, it feels like death. We go back home and we're like, oh man, I just lost words. One more year, you know. Now I have to train 365 days again to go there and win, you know. So in my mind, I'm like, man, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go back home as a winner, you know. And then I train 365 days to do that again, you know. I wanna die if I don't wanna go home, you know. So that was my thing. That was like, man, I don't care about my foot, you know. You can rip my leg, you can cut my leg off tomorrow as a winner, you know, as a world champ. I can be the whole life with one leg. That's fine for me, you know. Yeah, but yeah, that's the way I thought.
Is there any sponsors you'd like to shout out? Any upcoming events for you?
Yeah, I wanna thanks Grips, you know, Adaptogen. They've been supporting me a lot. I wanna thanks like you. I wanna thanks BJJ GOONS, Tony. You know, the great studio here. That's beautiful, man.
Thanks, man.
That's beautiful. Great job you're doing here. And that's it, man. That's it. Just thank you for the support. Thank you for the fans. You know, BJJ GOONS fans. Yeah, that's it, man.
Well, I would like to shout out my sponsor, VHTS, for always hooking me up with the freshest gear. Thanks again, Tony. Thanks for everybody that has been supporting the brand and the movement. And I will see you next time. Hit me up on Instagram at TimSpriggsBJJ. Peace.
Yes. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, man.
Brother.
Thanks, man.
Brother.
Thanks, man.
Brother.